Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Jayla Moody, and I am elated to be named as the Millbrook High School Class of 2015 Valedictorian.
You okay, Popo? Come on now. Come on, boo. Come on. Come on.
What a journey it has been. First and foremost, to God be the glory. I would not be here if it was not for the grace of God, for I am nothing without her. To Mr. Priester and the faculty of Mill Grove, thank you. There are a few people that I want to acknowledge. These persons were put in my path to help me get to this day. And many thanks to other family and friends who are here to celebrate with me. I thank God for each of you. The network of people who offer practical and emotional support are often referred to as a support system. So let me thank my support system. To Sarah Chambers, my neighbor and my grandmother, who provided life lessons and games that were amongst my most fond childhood memories. To Deborah Eccles, my godmother, who implemented into my mind at just the age of 4 that I could do anything I put my mind to.
Yes, you can.
To Tamara McFarland, my first lady, who provides a real-life version of spiritual inspiration. To Brenda Neely, my teacher of the century, who encouraged me to start the journey of television and broadcasting. You will forever have an imprint on my life. To Pam Watson, my auntie Pam, my fan club president. To Cagney, my god sister, I love you. To my auntie Valerie, one of Charlie's angels. She keeps me encouraged by constantly reminding me to never let anyone throw my sparkle. You're my safe haven. To my mother and my father.
It's okay, Popo.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Because love is wanting so much more for someone than they want for themselves.
It's okay, Popo.
Early on, they told me and my brothers that nothing less than an A was acceptable, and they never accepted anything less from us. They switched duties while covering during school and other after school. All of you know my mom had the first half. My mother was saying, call Jesus first, because if you call me, I got you. My dad tells me every single morning before school to separate, dominate, and be great. For everything that I achieved in life wouldn't be nearly possible without them. Thank you. I love you.
Love you.
Last but not least, to my brother, Willie James Moody III. He was your first male valedictorian, and now you become your first brother and sister to be named valedictorian of this great award. This medal to him. He serves as my daily encouragement and inspiration. He didn't just achieve the honor of being high school valedictorian, he continued to grind. He has consistently been named to the deans and president's list every semester since entering college, majors in math and playing baseball. He tells me every day, if you outgrind them, you will outshine them. This is for you, Trey. I love you.
It's so.
I stand before you humbled to be your senior class president. It has been my duty over the last 2 years to lead our class to this milestone event. But today, as your valedictorian, I am so honored to now provide words of encouragement for the next stage of our lives. I thought long and hard about what message I could convey that would resonate in your heart and remain imprinted in your minds. So many key things occurred this year. The Mill Grove Wolverine football team made a heroic drive towards the playoffs. NBC News and Wolverine Productions placed at USA State Conference. The Wolverine softball team were named region champs yet again. The Marching Wolverines and the fabulous Purple Fox received all-around superiors at festival. baseball team went 10-6 and advanced to the region playoffs. The list is endless, because as we all know, this is a school where you must do something, and the class of 2015 most definitely did. With a mixture of opportunities and challenges this year, I settled on a single topic: 3 P's in your pod. The phrase peas in a pod dates back to London during the 16th century, in which it was used to describe identical items or people. The first P equals person and people. Person is yourself. To find out who you are, ask yourself these questions. Do you possess a wholesome set of values? Are you someone others can count on and one that leads? Do you stand for one thing or fall for everything? If you're answering these questions with the question, it's time for replanting before you step out into the world after high school graduation. Your personal foundation must be the first step in running a solid race. You have to be strong, reliable, trustworthy, mentally fit, and able to handle challenges even when every door closes. The first P also stands for people. Where your partners at? These P's are those like-minded folks that really elevate you to do better. They are the true friends that are strong enough to redirect you when you go off course and correct you when you are wrong. Dominique Charmaine, my very first friend at Middle Grove, who has supported me in everything from the sane to the insane. Willow, where are you? My consultant, my advisor, and my friend will always be the coolest kids on the block. To the crew, Kyle, Sydney, Trelly, Andre. Because it's not about when someone comes into your life, but the impact that they have on it. To Ebony, Shakayla, Nard, Destiny, Jemiah, Samia, and Brandy, for being there before something even happened. To my lovely class officer sisters, to my bestie Jada, who's salutatorian of Southwest Magnet Program, and to my best friend Ariel, I love you so much. The second P is the process. Muhammad Ali once stated, my success is driven by the success of my thoughts. He went into the ring before his fight and fought the fight in his mind well before the actual matchup. It was his mindset that prepared him. On each journey that you partake, it is important for you to set a goal for yourself and to speak your accomplishment into existence. The third P is the promise. My pastor, Clinton McFarland, often preached, don't give up on the promise because of the difficulty of the process. The process is taking a series of actions or steps in order to achieve a particular end. I'll tell you a secret. If you know Jesus, the fight is already won. You just need to go through the process and seize the promise, and you can still enjoy life and have fun. Morgan Freeman once told a story that I love hearing. Before April 1954, the common belief, because it had been tried over and over and over again and then failed, was that man could not run a mile in 4 minutes. Man could not break the 4-minute barrier because instead could not be physically possible. When something happens to us, we begin to believe that that's the way it is, that's the way it will be, and that's the way it's always been. But Roger Bannister, he didn't think this way. He came along and broke the 4-minute barrier in his mile. To this day, over 20,000 people have ran a mile in 4 minutes, even kids in high school. 20,000 people. Here's what happened. These people got on the track, knowing it had been done before, and that they had it within them to do it. Because they knew it had been done, there was a new belief about this so-called unreachable barrier. Those same 20,000 people stepped foot into the race, knowing that because someone had done it, that it's possible, and that they too could do the same thing. If someone can make their dream a reality, then you can make your dream a reality. If Clifford Johnson can be named star student, then you can grab hold of your promise. If Alexia King can be ranked #1 in the state in the 300 hurdles, you can grab hold of your promise. If 3 sport athletes, Sarah Set, can sign with Southern University, you can grab hold of your promise. If Sammy Aquilco can attend Spelman University, the school of her dreams, then you can grab hold of your promise. If Nico Jackson can hold a little girl football while she's running, then you can grab hold of your promise. If Ayanna Eisen can receive numerous scholarships to Savannah School of If Samuel Bladder can direct me the instrumental student leader behind MGTV Productions, then you can grab hold of your promise. If Kendall, Street, Jamon, and Lamont can be a part of a legacy basketball team that has won 6 straight state championships, then you can grab hold of your promise. If Jennifer and Yuku can step out with her sister and attend their first senior prom, then you can grab hold of your promise. If Kelsey McMillan can be a certified DJ working with B103, then you can grab hold of your promise. And if I can stand before you today as your valedictorian, attending Mercer University as a journalism scholar, then I tell you, the promise is real and it has been seized.
Yes!
Dreams can become reality with the right keys in your life. Remember the first key, people. Every runner needs to know who they are and who are their right trainers, coaches, parents, and cheerleaders. Make sure you have the right people in your circle. Remember the second key, the process. Every runner needs a running plan. Muhammad Ali would say often, I hate every minute of training, but I told myself, I don't quit. I can suffer now and live the rest of my life as a champion. You can't just show up on race day expecting to run your best race when you haven't even practiced. Prepare class of 2015, grind. Remember the third key, the promise. Every runner needs to see the finish line. My best friend Anthony, who runs track and cross country, told me that the finish is always the sweetest part of the race because you've just got done giving everything you've had. You can finally reap the results of all of your hard work and training. This is the promise. If you have 3 P's in your prod, you will be unstoppable. So stop invalidating yourself, class of 2015. Stop making excuses. Stop hating on each other. And stop ending your own story with but. It's yours if you want it. We will do something. I love you, class of 2015.